Hello, Westside Christian Church family. Pastor Doug here. If I could just add to this past Sunday's message, this new life from Acts chapter 5, I would probably go to the end. If you were looking at my notes there, you know that I clipped the end. I simply realized that the Pilgrim's Progress story really was our closing. That really was bringing it home. And I didn't need to add in that final component to accomplish what needed to be accomplished. So I just dismissed it. But there was an idea there that I would like to come back. If you saw the notes, it said, there is no one phrase that describes it all, or something to that effect. But what I meant by that, there's no one word or group of words that can encompass all of the faith, the gospel, what God has done for us. I wish there were. We'll talk about that in a second, but there isn't. And then I went on to say, but this new life does come close, which I think is true. What I was talking about there is what I think Einstein, what was he, scientist, physicist? He would have called the unified field theory, I think. Now, I'm not a scientist at all. I don't even like science. So it's not like I'm saying, hey, I don't know science and I feel dumb for that reason. Science doesn't answer any of the questions that I have. Science answers the question of how. Sometimes we wrongly phrase that as why, but really it's how. If I say, why is the sky blue? Oh, the sky's blue because light reflects. No, that's a how, not a why. I don't care about hows. I only care about why. So I don't like science that much, but I do know that Einstein was looking for something he called the unified field theory. And what I think is that was a theory that would unify all the various fields of physics into one idea. There's also something called a theory of everything. It's in the similar neighborhood. I'm not sure that it's exactly the same, but again, it's one theory that would describe multiple disciplines or understandings. I have been searching for something similar for the faith. It's just in my DNA. It's in my character makeup, the way God made me, that I am a cataloger, I'm a classifier, I like to organize things, and then I like to get them as compact as possible. And I would love to have a compact depiction of the gospel, of what God has done for us. In my mind, I think of it as a pill. I don't even think of it as a catalog or a theory. I think of it, can I compress all of the faith into a pill that I can give to somebody? Take this pill, you got it all. It's a noble desire, I suppose. It's a natural desire. It's just not going to work. Here is why. The faith, the gospel, what God has done for us, those are the terms I'm using for this thing. It is like a three-dimensional object. I often liken it to a jewel. If you think about a huge jewel sitting in my hand here, there's all these facets, all these angles, corners, sides to a light switch. Now, they will connect. If you wanted to, you could put your finger on the front and you could run a line and you'd come all the way in the back. Nonetheless, there is still a back side that you're not going to see as I hold it out here. Anytime we're trying to describe with words the gospel, the faith, what God has done for us, we are putting it into two dimensions. So we're taking a three-dimensional thing and we're putting it into two dimensions. What happens when you do that? You lose something. There's always a back side that does not show up in pictures. Anytime in real life you're looking at a three-dimensional object, you're never seeing the entirety because there's always some side that we are not going to be able to see. So there is no one phrase that can completely encapsulate the gospel. There is no unified field theory. I wish there was. What we have to do instead is default to what I said about the syllables, the multisyllabic words. So I said in the message, I'll say it again, the faith is a word with multiple syllables. Jesus is one of those syllables. God's love is one of those syllables. Salvation by grace through faith, the righteousness of God, given to us by Jesus's propitiation through the cross. Those are syllables. And heaven and hell is a syllable too. We are going to emphasize one or the other of those. I think in general, there's one that should be emphasized more than any others, but it's probably true that in different scenarios, we are going to emphasize one more than any other. So, and that's probably fine, but that's the best we're going to do if you want a unified field theory. We're going to say this is a multisyllabic word. All these syllables are parts of it. These are the facets. These are the sides of the gem. And we're going to focus on the one we need to focus to at this time. Nonetheless, I still think this new life comes awful close. And I think that's why the angel used it. I think that's why God intended him to use it, why the Holy Spirit inspired it and preserved it for us in the book of Acts. This is a new life. It's a new life in the sense that we've been resurrected from the consequences of our sin. We were going to die. We were going to be punished. That is now off the table. So there's new life there. And that's kind of what Ezra was saying when he said to the Israelites, you were in captivity at Ezra 9:9. God's given us new life. But there is also that newness of life that Paul talks about in Romans 6, which Romans 6 is the shift. He stops talking about justification and starts talking about sanctification. Stop talking about how we're being pardoned and now how we've been freed from the power of sin. That is also a new life. The way we interact with others is a new life. The way we now value the book of Ecclesiastes is a guy trying to figure out what is valuable in life, and he comes to the conclusion the only thing that means anything is fear the Lord and trust in him. So the way that you see life is now. So I still don't think this new life can quite incorporate it all because it doesn't directly mention Jesus, God's love, the propitiation, etc. But man, does it come close. This is not just a ticket to heaven. This is not just, hey, I've learned how to not sin. This is a brand new life, a new way of living that God has given to us. I think that's a excellent, if not the only, description of the gospel. So that's what I would have added there at the end. Thank you for allowing me to try to incorporate it here today. Look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.